Hello everyone, welcome back to Body Connection Project. Today I'm here with James Hunt, a dear friend and colleague, and we're gonna have a full body routine, stretching routine for you to improve your mobility. If you want to move better, reduce pain, and simply improve your flexibility, this full body routine is gonna be perfect for you. We're gonna go through a series of dynamic and static stretches, focusing on the key areas, something hips, shoulders, spine, and legs. So now let's go directly into warm-up and let's make it happen. Before we go into a full stretching routine, we're gonna take 2 minutes to warm up the body. Now here, I'm gonna give microphone to James, so he's gonna explain us why it's important, and he's gonna guide me through this warm-up routine.
Thank you, Nenad. Okay, so whether you're going to the gym, whether you're off to play tennis or squash or paddle, whether you're about to go for a run, play football, it doesn't really matter what you're going to do, but if you're moving your body, then we want to make sure that we're starting to get all that fluid moving in the joints to make sure we can fully articulate or take them through their full ranges of movement.
Okay, so now, first movement, for example, is going to be?
So the first one we're going to do here, Nenad's going to come down towards the floor. We're going to go all fours, so quadrupedal. We're going to take a little brace through the hands. We start to warm up the wrist just a little bit, and then we're going to go through spinal flexion extension. So you're just going to move through cat-cow, potentially know this from yoga. So we want to see a nice curvature of the spine here come into flexion. He's going to take a nice breath in, drop the belly down, and we're going to see his spine come into extension. What we're also getting here as a bonus, we're warming up the shoulders, and we're also starting to mobilize those hips a little bit here as well. We're going to be here for another 10 seconds, just moving through. Big exhale at the top, big inhale dropping down. It's just going to go one more, and he's going to complete just by dropping down and through and feeling that movement coming through there. From here, we're going to come back up onto our feet. We're going to start to mobilize the shoulders a little bit more. We can start with just some shrugs, just rolling back and through. And if you're potentially tight or have any kind of impingements through here, this is a nice place to start. So we can see this nice movement happening here. We can pause, and you can play with actually going the other way. You might find that one way is more challenging than the other, and you want to be aware of what's happening with the shoulders and the neck and making sure that both sides start to even out here. From here, we're going to progress the arm circles. We're going to straighten the arms, and we're going to take the arms up and over and just start to increase. So you can start nice and small here. There's no need to start forcing to anything big. Just start to find those points where you start to feel blockages. Exactly, changing direction. Really nice. From here, we're going to move into a standing forward fold. Then that's going to take a big stretch up. We take a big inhale here. And then on the exhale, we're going to deliver ourselves forward or dive forwards. Keeping the knees relaxed. What we don't want to see is the knees locking out here. We want to try to keep the weight in the feet. Super nice, man. Big exhale. We're trying to get this fold happening at the hips here as opposed to just through the spine. We want to feel a little stretch in the glutes. And you can see here, Nenad's got that little break in the knees. You can inhale, come back up. And then a big exhale, we're going to fold forwards. If you have any back pain with this, on the way back up, what he's going to do is going to bend the knees more into a nice deep stretch. And then he can roll up through the spine. This is if you have any issues through the back or you're a little bit nervous through this movement. Our last one we're going to progress to here. Nenad's just going to take a big breath in. Take the feet hip distance apart. I encourage you to try to keep the second toe facing forwards here. We don't want an excessive turn out. And then from here, he's just going to reach forwards with the hands and start to come into a squat. He's going to send the knees forwards, keeping the weight in the feet. What we're looking for here is a nice stretch through the glutes, starting to warm up the legs. He's going to exhale, push through the feet and come back up. And here, because we're warming up, we're not sitting in anything for too long. He's going to come back into that stretch. And he's going to stay here long enough just to feel that you can start to open up. Exactly. Can we see that from the front or the back? Yeah. So what we're going to show here is as Nenad comes down, he's just starting to mobilize sideways, and what we're trying to do here is just test each hip individually just to feel out any kind of restrictions. And from here, that concludes our warm-up. Really nice. Nice, Nenad.
Nice.
Okay.
We're ready for stretching routine. Thank you.
Okay, from here we're going to jump into our full mobility routine. Me and Naina are going to go through this together and I'm going to give us some points. We're going to come down towards the floor. Coming back into that quadrupedal, we're going to engage through the hands, tuck the toes, taking the weight into the hands and the feet. Big exhale, push through the hands, driving back into our down dog here. From here we're going to go through a bit of a flow. We're going to come back to all fours, drop the knees, and then start to drop the hips to come in towards that upward dog. Just allowing the knees down, being careful of the back, pushing the weight through the hands. From here, taking the weight into the hands and knees, we come back to that all fours position. We float the knees. Nainad's driving the weight through his hands here, and we're trying to drive the hips up high. We can pause here a moment just to breathe before shifting that weight from the feet into the hands, allowing the knees to drop. And from here, we want to start to feel like the hips open and we feel this nice big lengthening and stretch up the front of the body. One more time, we take the weight through the hands. We're going to drive ourselves back. Here, we're going to start to transition into a different movement. We'll take a big inhale, just extend the right leg back. And then we're going to bring that right knee between the hands. And we're just going to drop into what's called in yoga a pigeon stretch, just to open up this hip here. We're going to see Nainad rocking just a little bit here. And you can try to think about bringing that left hip around towards that right foot. The ankle or shin doesn't need to be at 90 degrees here. You can have it bent. We're just going to rock here. Once that started to open up, we take the weight back into the hands. We drive ourselves back into that down dog. Take a big inhale, we sweep the left leg, and then we bring that left knee between the hands again, and we drop and sink into that opposite hip. Here we can see Nainad's right hip. We want to try to bring it as close as we can to this ankle, and there's no need, like I said, to bring that shin any higher. The only thing we're trying to get is that stretch in the back of the hip. From here, into this position, we're going to sweep back just into that down dog. And then we're going to bring that right knee forwards. And then we're going to drop into what's called a 90-90 stretch. So Nainad's going to drop onto this hip here. And then we're going to drop this back knee in. So if I get Nainad to turn around just a little bit, and then you can see him. Okay, so we're here. And what we can see is a 90-90. Now our focus here isn't so much the front. And if Nainad just puts his hands behind his back here just to give himself some support, we're going to start to bring those knees up and sweep over, working through that internal and external rotation. Total mobility for the hips with this. If you're able to do this without hands on the floor, you're going to take the hands forwards like you've got a big bowl of soup or weight in front of you. And think about keeping that weight to the front as you sweep and pull the knees as wide as you can. And we're just going to transition 2 more times. Trying to pull this knee up first, and then trying to drop this back knee down. This is the one we're going after with this. We want that internal rotation. Last time, Nainad's going to pull the lead knee up, drive with that before dropping that back knee down. Perfect. Previous movements, we focused mainly on the hips. Our down dog was focusing on flexion, the movement of bringing the knees in towards the chest. Our second was focused more on that extension as we drive the hips through. And the final one with pigeon and the 90-90 sweeps. Pigeon focuses on our external rotation, and as we go into those sweeps, we're trying to get that knee over and in, get into that nice internal rotation. From here, we're going to start to move into more of our spine-focused movements. So Nainad's going to come down, he's going to lie on his back. He's going to roll onto one side, so we're going to start on his left side here. Knees are going to be come up to 90 degrees. And he's just going to lock in with that bottom hand just into his leg here. And then we're going to open the book. What we're trying to do here is move through the spine. We're going to spend about 30 seconds on each side. Now you could spend longer if you need. We're going to make this quite dynamic though. So he's going to start to close. He's going to bring the arm back over, and we can pause when we get to about horizontal, and he's just going to then breathe out and come back down. We're just going to do that with the breath. So we're moving dynamically with the breath, kind of getting that wave type movement and starting to open the chest and all through the spine here. From here, he's going to now just kick this top leg straight to relax out. So top leg kick straight, he's going to bring the hips over, and he's going to roll onto the opposite side, and we're going to hit that spinal rotation on the other side. He's going to open the book. Locking in the knees, perfect. Now what we want to see with this is that we're getting this shoulder towards the floor. We don't really want this too high. This is really nice, this is perfect. Here we can close, we start to move through dynamically, coming up, and then big exhale coming back down. If you're really tight and you get stuck here, just put something underneath the arm, it's going to help you to open up. And we just gently move through here. Really nice. Like I said, you can spend longer here if you need, and I recommend you do if you need that through the spine. From here, Nainad's going to come on back into that quadrupedal position on all fours, and we're going to move into our child's pose. So here you can bring big toes together, knees just a little wider than the hip, just to make yourself feel grounded and comfortable. We're just going to walk our hands forwards, a little bit more extended than we would in all fours, and we're just going to drop back. And what we want to feel here is we're getting this nice opening through the shoulders, really warming up all the scapula and shoulders here, and getting this nice flexion. Again, we're trying to keep this a little dynamic, so Nainad's just going to sweep his right hand over to maybe a hand distance across, and then that left hand's going to come across here. From here, he's just going to rock away from me, so he tries to bring that left armpit towards the floor. We're starting to open up that left side of the body. We're going to stay here and breathe. We're going to see Nainad just doing little pulses here as he just moves sideways with that and just rocks just a little bit. You can think about bringing the armpit to the floor. There's no specific place you have to be. It depends where you are tight and when he's mobilizing. He's going to sweep that left hand over to the opposite side. Right hand comes to join it. And again, we're trying to get this nice opening all the way down through this side. You can think about the breath starting to expand the rib cage with every inhale, every exhale, just dropping a little bit deeper into this movement. All right, perfect. And then from here, we're pretty much ready to go into our full routine.
That was it. That was a full body stretching routine. Thank you, James, for leading us into this routine. You will see that consistency is the key. You can do this daily, when you wake up, after your main workout. And the more you go into the movement, if you feel stiff or stuck, you will see that breathing will help you to relax more and become more mobile and flexible. Now, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, feel free to share, like and subscribe, and we see you in the next one. Thank you.